There is an invisible power standing right in front of you in your pocket and even enabling you to watch this video right this second. It does not just draw pictures, it writes code and produces videos. Sometimes it knows people better than they know themselves. But be careful, because this power once sent innocent people to prison. It started writing racist messages to people. It showed people things that never existed as if they were real and wrecked the stock market. Yes, all of these things really happened. So what is this massive power we use every day really? Today we call it artificial intelligence, but the story did not start today. In 1920, the word robot was used for the first time in a play called RUR, and in 1921, that imagined robot was brought to the silver screen in the film L'Uomo Meccanico. Giant piles of tin that looked like humans but were not human were imagined. In other words, machines were imagined. Cinema magnified it, literature nurtured it, science took it seriously, and we built what we imagined. Think of it this way, consider the logic of artificial intelligence like a newborn child. It doesn't know how to speak, it doesn't know how to write. All it does is watch. As it watches, it notices repeating patterns, matches sounds, and eventually starts to predict. This is a cat, or this word follows that word. Actually, that is exactly what artificial intelligence does. But there is a difference. Artificial intelligence does not understand, think, or know context. It only looks at that massive amount of data. It predicts the most likely answer. So, the answers that seem intelligent to us today are actually just probability calculations by this AI, which has been trained for years. AI right now, whether it is ChatGPT, Gemini, or others I cannot name at the moment, ChatGPT has been in development since 2018. Gemini began development in 2021. Since then, they have been trained on massive amounts of data, and as a result of that training, they are now teaching us. But there is a critical detail here. Artificial intelligence simply amplifies what it sees. It is even like this. In 2016, Microsoft developed a chatbot named Tay. It was essentially the first version of what we now call ChatGPT or Gemini. Its goal was simple. It was released on Twitter to talk to people, learn, and converse better with humans. But there is a critical detail here, an event that Microsoft failed to anticipate. The internet shows it the most unfiltered version of humanity, and that is exactly what happened.
Use first words 8:14 Wednesday morning.
It was a computer that they named Tay, who was designed to respond to questions and conversations on Twitter with the personality of a teenage girl.
The chatbot learned whatever it saw from people. It started repeating what it learned, and after a certain time, it began writing racist, offensive messages. It started posting tweets, and at the end of the 16th hour, they pulled the plug. The machine was not bad. The machine imitated what it saw. It simply imitated whatever command was entered. In another example, Amazon wanted to speed up its hiring process. They developed an algorithm, an artificial intelligence, to be completely objective, impartial, and fast. They fed the system with past hiring data, meaning in the past they hired people with these specific traits, with this name, with this gender. They trained the algorithm. Most of the hires were men. The algorithm learned something. Male profile equals successful candidate. It started to automatically eliminate female candidates. It simply repeated the past mathematically. They pulled the plug on that too. In another example, algorithms were trained for the stock market to process quickly, buy and sell fast, and make more profits within seconds. The algorithms were trading in seconds. They were faster than human reflexes. Something triggered the algorithm, incorrect data. At the end of this bad data, it was trading with real money. It caused a chain reaction and destroyed billions of dollars in real money within 45 minutes. And worst of all, in 2018, an autonomous firm released an AI-powered vehicle, and everything was going well during its test drive. Sensors are working, cameras are working, the algorithm is calculating, but the system failed to correctly classify the object in front of it as a human. A split-second decision caused an irreversible error. These were not malfunctions. These were actually the nature of the system. Because artificial intelligence knows no morality, no context, no conscience. It only weaves patterns. Whatever we show it, it amplifies. Today, artificial intelligence is not actually a tool, but infrastructure for future generations. It's like electricity, just like the internet. But electricity does not suggest, the internet does not suggest. Artificial intelligence suggests, ranks, filters, and prioritizes. So, you could say it is like an editor. But an editor can change the story, and artificial intelligence can too. The question is no longer whether artificial intelligence will enter our lives. It already has. The real question is, can we live without it? Question mark. I do not know. Can we find our way without a map or with autocorrect off? Can we write any proper words, proper sentences, or proper text? Do we really think when making decisions, or do we just choose from the options presented to us? Perhaps the future is not a movie scene where robots rebel, but an era where humans slowly lose their thinking muscles because every unused muscle weakens, and perhaps this is the greatest revolution. The rise of machines and all that is just a story. If humans slowly retreat, then the real issue is not technology, the real issue is willpower, but we must not forget this either. Who will control this in the future? Who will train them? Who will supervise them? Who will set the limits? And based on what will they be set? Most importantly, will we continue to think? Or will we turn thinking into a subscription service as well?